Hello, everyone. Happy
Uh,
Sunday evening, U.S. time. Um,
uh,
James, you should pull up Metacritic.
oh God.
What's wrong?
Well, already this is worry. So
Um,
I guess I can reveal some news while I'm pulling that up.
yes, please.
I recorded all of yesterday's live show and edited it today with a migraine,
Oh no.
and I did it. I did
W-
the whole thing.
Well, congratulations.
It was the kind that's like the pressure on the side of your head and it makes your teeth
I
hurt.
hate that. I hate that so much.
So I had a dentist appointment on Friday. I've had it since like Thursday. I had a dentist appointment on Friday, and I'm like, please look at my teeth. They hurt. And he's like, there's nothing wrong. Check them again. There's nothing. Check them again. And he's like, they're fine. What do you want me to tell you? It was only yesterday. I'm like, oh, it's a migraine. I'm an idiot. So yeah, I did the whole 4 hour recording session, and then the
Jesus.
4 hours editing it today, which was awesome. Definitely not a nightmare. So yeah,
Oof.
I'm heavily medicated right now. So that's
Excellent.
good.
So this is gonna be great.
Ah, well, Tylenol. So it's not like it's gonna
Yes.
make me make weird opinions. I've got plenty of those already.
So I have made a tier list. And this tier list is 44 AAA games that are alleging they're going to release in calendar 2023,
Okay.
predicting their Metacritics.
Oh no.
I have broken things into 9 categories between less than 60 and 95 plus, and then a 10th category for we don't think this is releasing in 2023 actually.
Great. Okay.
I don't know. This felt like we're barreling down to 2022, and a lot of things claim they're coming out in 2023. So this felt like a good excuse to run through the list. Um, so yeah, just quickly ground rules because this is Metacritic. Um, Trying to think about how the global reviewing consensus will view this, and not how you or I think the game will turn out.
Right.
For example, I don't give a fuck about Horizon VR Call of the Mountain, but if we think that reviewers are going to give that like an 88, then that
S-
goes in the 88 section.
So can I ask about that one real quick? Because I got a
Yeah.
little confused because I was kind of like only half watching the Game Awards because I started to blank
Mhm.
out.
Mhm.
It may have actually caused the migraine. Who can say? Uh, um, so they basically had two distinct Horizon
Yes.
announcements. Okay,
Well,
just what
no. They called one a world premiere, but it was just a new trailer that literally revealed nothing.
it was a world premiere trailer.
And that was for the VR game, which
Okay,
is uh shockingly $60, and it is a launch title for PSVR 2.
so
So
it is a fully independent game.
yes, that is a fully standalone game exclusive to PSVR 2, built from the ground up to show off the hardware. It is their launch day first party tech demo.
Okay,
And then separately, they're doing paid single player DLC for their Horizon game that came out earlier 2022.
and so that was the part where I was like, okay, which one of these is game and which one like yeah.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if they were both DLC or if
Mm-mm.
they had two world premieres for the same thing. I got very
No,
confused.
they had a world premiere that shouldn't have been a world premiere, and then well, basically they just bought an ad for their thing, and then there's the one where they were like, it took out the Hollywood sign, and the Hollywood sign had its own legal line,
Right.
and
Which
that's the DLC.
yeah, that was the part where I'm like, even the Hollywood sign, I'm like, the Hollywood sign will fall down within like 10 years of people stopping maintaining it.
Yes. So, all right, going through the list. Number one, Street Fighter 6. First
Uh,
question: do we think this is coming out this year, or this next year. They have a date in June.
Yeah, I think it's coming.
Yeah, I agree. Where do you think this one's gonna land? I mean, we could use
Uh,
historical precedent of looking where Street Fighter V landed, but Street Fighter V was received bad.
right. I think they learned a lot of lessons from Street Fighter V, namely finish the fucking game before you release it.
Yes, this one
Uh,
looks a lot more finished already.
GX referring to young Popeye, the main character, the new main character,
Yes,
which
well,
it is an unfortunate, like that character looks a lot less weird in other drawings.
mm-hmm.
It just happens to be in that particular drawing he looks very
Oh,
weird.
yes, the community has roasted this box art to death, but guess how box arts show up? Someone in
Yeah,
a focus test pranked Capcom and said, "Yeah, I want that."
but also like box art couldn't matter less these days.
Yeah,
Like it,
I
it,
mean,
it this is the least box art has mattered at any point ever.
yes, except it's also the digital store key art.
Yeah, but they can change that over time. They
Definitely.
can they can swap those out a lot easier than like changing what's on the boxes.
Yup.
Um, yeah, I think this game will be. I think they learned a lot from Street Fighter V.
Agree.
I think this game's going to come out very fully featured
Mhm.
because I mean that was the big thing with Five. They wanted to hit a date, and the only way for their fighting tournament, the only way they
Yes.
could hit that date was basically release that game with
Only online
content.
multi. Yeah, it only had local multiplayer and online multiplayer, and that was it.
I think wasn't there? Couldn't you also go like the training room, and
Yes,
that's it?
yes. The only single player content was training against a dummy.
And here's the thing, like I know that there are lots of people who play Street Fighter in tournaments, and that it's a big deal, and I respect that.
That game was
But that
33% off by the time they added their first wave of content.
Yeah, but that's not the majority of players. That's
Exactly.
the thing. Like the majority of players might play at local multiplayer, but they also play single player a lot. And that's one of the things what like Namco Bandai really gets it in their fighting games, almost to the point of being comedy.
Hmm.
Or they're like, "Why'd you put so much stuff in your game? Stop putting stuff in your game."
Yeah, no, like even like the Game Awards trailer that was just like, also here's the 5 fucking mini games because
Right.
we're ready to show those too because there's enough content here.
Yeah,
That like, mhm.
I think we're headed towards a 9.
You think we're going to being specific, do you think we're going to get a Metacritic between 85 and 89 or 90 and 94?
I'll say 90 and 94.
Ooh, that is rarefied air. But
Yeah, I know, but I think the Street Fighter name carries because here's the thing: if Street Fighter V came out
mhm.
and wasn't called Street Fighter V, it was called something else,
Yeah.
it'd have been worse.
For reference, Street Fighter 5
They
uh
couldn't they couldn't have pulled that move if it wasn't
no,
Street Fighter.
it got 77, 74 PS4 and PC. Oh, I
Y-
should also specify real fast um because obviously for multi platforms, we're going to we're going to rank for whatever platform has the highest score. So if like one
Okay.
version is a technical disaster, but it's out on like 5 other platforms, then we're just going to rate it by the highest platform.
Or like if there's a random PS4 version and like all hell breaks loose on that one, it's just like,
Exactly.
well, whatever.
Yeah, that's the outlier. We're talking about like the game's launch in the best in its best light. Yeah, no, I mean the best sign that this game has for me is that they are actually missing the release window to get it on main stage at Evo, and that they're willing to do that.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that makes that worth it is let's say you released it a month before Evo, and then you're like, but now it's on the main stage. One, you won't have established a repertoire of who the best fighters are at that particular version of the game.
Hmm.
And two, they won't have really developed any meta for it. It's just going to be like, it's basically just going to be people get in there by invite only because they were good at Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
And this game isn't Street Fighter V. Uh,
No, they
so
desperately want you to remember that because they fired all the people that did 5.
so like giving it more space to breathe, I think will be good for it. Because GX asks, do I think it will get dinged for its microtransaction stuff? Yes, but I don't think it'll get dinged a lot because I think fighting games have kind of conditioned people.
Oh, fighting games have had quote unquote microtransactions since Street Fighter 4,
Right.
and like, look, it's not going to be anywhere near as aggressive as fucking 5 was. So,
You
Or
can get all the characters without spending any money.
oh yeah, if you're Daigo.
I've been reliably informed that I'm not good, which is true. I'm not. I,
Mhm.
I was never good at Street Fighter. This is never my game.
Yeah, I mean, same, but also. All right, next up, we have Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which is allegedly releasing in May. They have not shown any gameplay.
Yeah, I think I know almost nothing about this game because of
Uh,
course they've not shown a
it
lot,
is a
but
it is a up to 4 player game. If you play as you can play the whole game single player. At which point the other 3 characters are AI, but you can hot swap between them. And it's in
yeah, I mean
Rocksteady's Arkhamverse.
yeah, like I the May I have doubts, but if we're talking about will it come out before December 31st, 2023? Yeah, I think it will. Um Now, does that mean May? No.
Yeah.
Uh
Also, as GX says, not to be confused with the other 4 player multiplayer game in the Batman Arkham adjacent universe.
which one's that?
The fucking Gotham City Knights
Oh,
or
right.
Gotham
Which
Knights.
which just came out.
Yes. They announced these 2 games on the same day also.
Good. Uh I don't think it'll be a disaster because I think it's too valuable for them to make it a disaster. I'll go with the
What did Arkham Knight get? Because people weren't terribly happy with that. Excluding the PC version, because that was an unmitigated disaster, Arkham Knight got 85, 87.
yeah, and I'm thinking I'm gonna actually go a little bit lower on this one and say
80 to
the
84?
uh I was wondering, yeah, 84 is probably about right. I'm torn between that or 75 to 79.
Okay. You'll put
But
that
again,
down.
this is like
Yeah,
pointing stories. Like at some point I just go fuck it.
yes. Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Ooh. Yeah, this will definitely come out.
G. Matt. Great. Thank you. Fuck. Fuck.
Good.
Oh, fuck everything about that game.
Yeah,
James, did you see that Matt, beat the game and completed all the conditions for the platinum, but it was bugged and didn't give him the platinum?
good. That's what it should do. That's the authentic experience. Keep playing.
Yes.
Never stop playing. It's the
Yes.
forever game. They're boosting their engagement numbers by saying, "Look, hundreds of hours."
Alright.
Resident Evil 4 will come out. Resident Evil 4 is a good game. I actually think they're going to make it a little bit worse because I think they're going to move away from what made that game fun to play.
But I think they're going to move it into Prestige, which is high Metacritic trap.
Yeah, like that game shouldn't be prestige though.
No, look, you and me might think that game is a deep downgrade. The motherfuckers that went out and gave The Last of Us Part 2 like a what fucking like 96 or some shit.
Yeah.
Like this game is going to be very highly reviewed is my guess.
This is a game where the primary cause of the problem
Mm-hmm.
is a child-sized Spanish regent
Yes.
dressed like the fucking Commodore from the
Yes.
War of 1812.
Yes.
Like this game needs to be stupid, and they're gonna not make it stupid,
Of
and
course they're not.
they're gonna take away the. I mean, this Resident Evil 4. We cannot emphasize enough how influential that game's mechanics are.
Mm-hmm.
Like the third person action shooter. This is the progenitor, and they're probably gonna make it play like the new Resident Evil games, aren't they? Or are they gonna
Yeah.
try to maintain?
They're going to. My guess is it's going to be a middle ground between RE2 remake and RE4 original.
See, I think they need to just do. It's like GX says it upsets me the look of the characters' faces don't match the look of their clothes. Like everyone's wearing cosplay. Yes,
I mean,
but you're right.
here's the thing. Again, like they are obviously making some changes because otherwise they would just put out a Series X and PS5 native version of RE4 they have no problem porting that code base around.
Yeah, but if you could redo all the textures and stuff, and redo some of the art and keep it cheese. I'm gonna say high 80s.
85 to 89.
Yeah,
Okay, that
I don't
sounds
think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna hit the 90s because I think there will be people like us who are like, "Why did you make this a serious game? What the fuck is wrong with you?"
yeah. In my head, I had it between like 88 and 91. So yeah,
GX notes the public demands a new chainsaw controller. Yes, Capcom of what was that? 2004.
2004.
Knew that was a stupid game, and they're like, what if we had chainsaw controllers? What if there was third party unlicensed chainsaw controllers, which there were, like chainsaw controllers.
Um.
Oh,
Yes. All right. Next up is motherfucking Skull and Bones.
not releasing any year.
They are alleging that it is coming out March 9th, and they have done a gameplay re-reveal and have basically said, like, all the internal reporting is that they are expecting this one to not perform well, but they just need to get it off the fucking books.
Ah.
So I believe that it will ship. I'm also eyeing somewhere around the 60 to 65 range.
Yeah, I guess I can live with the dump. If we're opening up the possibility that they're just gonna dump it,
Yes.
then yeah, I can take 60 to 65.
Okay.
But like part of me is like if I thought they were actually going to try to fix this thing, my answer would be
Oh,
not
yeah.
releasing ever.
No, I don't think that. I think that they just have to, again, close this fucking budget out. Right?
Also, I appreciate that Illudian Chronicles and Suikoden aren't next to each other, even though they absolutely should be.
They were next to each other when I selected the images to upload and when I titled the images, and then TierMaker shuffled them for some reason.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me. Assassin's Creed Mirage.
I don't even remember what this one is.
So this is the so they're working on a bunch of different Assassin's Creed stuff right now. This is the game that is it follows one of the characters from Origins, the no, from Valhalla, the
Okay.
but it is in the gameplay style of the pre-Origins, pre-open world Assassin's Creed.
So this is a good Assassin's Creed, basically.
I mean, I think that Origins and Odyssey are the two best games in the franchise, but like by far. But it is closer to Assassin's Creed Unity and Syndicate.
Like I just want sneaky stabby stabs.
That's all this is.
Great.
And yes, because they're also making their big AAA live, like quadruple A, like live service platform where you download one executable and then every year you download a new Assassin's Creed game as DLC to this one big platform.
Nice.
Which sounds like an absolute fucking production and tech debt nightmare. But, yes, this game, crucially, this is available for pre-order, but it doesn't have a release date at all, not even a quarter, other than 2023.
Oh, then yeah, I'm gonna say not at all this year then.
Okay, I do think it hits this year. I think that, well, then again, Ubisoft's been delaying a lot of their shit.
They have been, and I mean, there
I could see
be
this
more.
being like an August, September.
Maybe, but I gotta pick some things that aren't going, and that to me, this one has a lot of like.
All right, what about Dead Island 2?
Oh boy! All right,
Dead Island 2 is currently slated for April 28th.
Okay, so it'll definitely hit.
This is its third or fourth developer.
But like Dead Island isn't exactly like a highly regarded game.
No, it was absolutely not.
It was good, I think,
Dead Island 1 had about a 71. Dead Island Definitive Collection in 2016 had a 63.
So I'm seeing an 80 on one of these.
Oh, on PC, yeah.
Yeah,
but
the deep silver one.
I
but
was
that was also like 11 years ago.
Exactly. Dead Island Riptide 61, Escape Dead Island 32. Like every time another Dead Island thing has
I'm
come
gonna,
out, it is just going lower and lower and lower.
I'm gonna say 65 on this one because I think the fact they put a 2 on it means it's more important than something like Riptide.
Okay. Like a Dragon Ishin.
I think this will do worse than the last Yakuza game, even though
Uh,
I think I'll like it more.
because it's not a turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is not in the Dragon engine. This is an Unreal engine for some reason.
sure. Why not?
Yeah,
Um, I'm gonna say I think they both.
this is February 21st. So yeah, definitely almost out.
I'm gonna say probably right at 80 is my guess.
Okay.
Which I think I'm pretty sure Yakuza Like a Dragon was like mid
It
80s.
was like yeah, it was like 84, 85.
Okay.
Um, Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy
Oh
the
God.
console game. It's like Bar Line or something.
Yeah. Final Bar Line, I believe is the name.
Yes. So this is they put out the full track list before DLC like 3 days ago, and you just scroll and you scroll and you scroll and you're like, when the fuck is this one going to
I
end?
I could see this hitting low 90s.
Yes,
So
this has
this is
385 songs before the 90 song season pass.
the thing about this game though is it's going to be really dependent on who reviews it, and Metacritic won't account for that.
No, it doesn't. It will have no
So
Metacritic. Nobody will be able to finish it. That's bold of you to assume that reviewers finish rhythm games.
no. Yeah, I'll go for like that right at 90 number. I think ultimately it'll probably be below that, but
Yes,
it's really just going to come down to the standard deviations of who reviewed it.
100%. I feel like there's probably one version where you could get really lucky and have Michael Hyam review it. You could have fucking whatever the Corpse of Fanbite is review it. You could have RPG Site or RPG Fan, and
Right.
then you just like stumble into a bonkers score.
Yeah, I think the Switch version probably has the best shot
A
of it
hundred
landing.
percent.
It
NWR is probably gonna review it and go
right.
high.
Yeah. It's going to land in the hands of people who are the target audience.
Exactly. People who like Final Fantasy games and like rhythm games, or at
Right.
least like Final Fantasy soundtracks.
Like the PS5 version, yeah,
Oh, there
shrug.
is not a PS5 version.
Oh, there's not.
No, there is a PS. It is coming to PS4 and Switch, and not
Oh, okay.
PC and not PS5.
Weird.
Yeah, well. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I think the question is, does this hit over 95?
No.
Does it come out?
Well, hold on. So my gut says no, but and I just immediately shot it out there, but now I need to game theory it a little bit.
Breath of the Wild, Switch 97, Wii U 96.
Like cuz getting 97 and 96 on Metacritic where literally anybody is like that's kind of fucking unbelievable.
Oh
Cuz
yeah.
it doesn't take much to knock you out of that
Oh,
percentage.
100%.
Like,
And this is on Switch. That's with 109 reviews.
right. That's the thing. There's going to be a ton of reviews. Do I predict there'll be substantially new content? Oh yeah. I mean, we've
Wait.
already seen just from the mechanics.
I was gonna say, wait, yeah, GX. Before you clarified mechanics, I was gonna be like, what do you think they've been doing for the last 5 years?
What if it was just the same fucking map and they just put a couple things in it and said, like, for 5 years we've just been fucking doing nothing because we made 100 million seller bitches. um, I think the answer is it's gonna do. So I'm of two minds. I think there is a pretty good chance that there are people who rate it lower because it's not going to be the same like holy shit experience. But I also think it's probably going to be a better game. And so there's that trade-off. But there's also going to be a lot of Nintendo sites who push the number over. Like they're gonna push
Oh
the
yeah,
number
all
up a
the
little.
fucking Nintendo sites are gonna give it a 10. That's a given.
I don't know, I wouldn't go that far, but they'll give it high scores.
Anyone who gave Xenoblade Chronicles 2 a 10 is gonna give this a 10. Any
I don't
site,
know.
100%
Did anybody give Xenoblade
overlap.
Chronicles? Did anybody give Xenoblade Chronicles 2 a 10?
Dude. Alright, this is about to become a fucking call-out post. Get ready.
Like not when that game launched, there's no way.
Okay, no, it looks like only 2 outlets did.
Okay, yeah, because when that game launched, there was like fucking
Uh,
bullshit everywhere.
between reviewers that gave it between a 9 and a 10 though, first one I see, Nintendo World Report. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is one of the finest JRPGs of the generation and perhaps all time.
I'm
Fuck
fine with
you,
that.
John Raritan, you're
I'm
wrong.
I'm fine with that.
Fuck
I
you,
enjoy
John
that.
Raritan,
I
you're
I
wrong.
enjoy that game a lot.
Cons, characters talk over each other in combat. Fuck off, John Raritan.
That's the best part. What are you talking about? They ruined that game. So again, they patched his complaints out and ruined the game.
Fuck
Oh,
you, John.
that video I have where I kited an entire continent's worth of Mauritanian soldiers to one place, which took a long time to do, by the way. An entire fucking continent's worth of NPCs I kited to one place. And it was so loud. Literally, it was popping on my computer as I tried to capture it.
3 is amazing. Going back to 2 after 3 is gonna be fucking rough.
I love 2. I love 2. I love 3. I
Fuck
think it'll
2.
be I think it'll be in the mid 90s. I don't think it'll hit 95. I think there'll be too
Okay.
much people out of the honeymoon period. I I there is shit in 2 that made me smile and laugh harder than anything I've had in an RPG.
Oh, I've laughed at bugs too. Alright.
You know,
Mhm.
I'm taking time out of my Sunday evening. You can at least be nice.
I'm being
Uh,
nice to you. I'm not being nice to Xenoblade.
Fucking Avatar. God damn it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. So, I feel like this conversation, like the first conversation we need to have is just the 2023 conversation, wherein I
do,
can see a world. So, okay, yes, the con of why it wouldn't release in 2023 is we've seen no gameplay, and B, they don't have a date or a window outside
and
of 2023.
everybody here, including myself, forgot or didn't even know it existed.
So yeah, this is what Ubisoft Massive, the Division team, has been working on since before the Division 2 shipped. They've been working
And
on this for like 5-6 years. The only other thing is, I could see Disney or even Ubisoft just saying, "No, you've got to fucking align as close as you can with 2." No, yeah, GX, we're talking game versus movie. The movie's out in like 2 weeks.
yeah, but when's the second movie come out?
You mean the third movie?
Well, the second movie of the set.
Oh, good question. Avatar 3 is 2024 and it is already done filming.
Yeah, so I know they filmed them at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, and they're already halfway done with Avatar 4. So,
Right.
like, partially so
I
that they could fucking do all the CG early.
so I could see them saying like slide it to coincide with 4's release as well. Or I could see them saying stick it in the middle. It's sort of like
I mean, 2023 is in the middle between, like, it is, if it comes out holiday 2023, then it would be
right.
Way of Water 2022, Frontiers of Pandora 2023, Avatar 3 2024. So it is currently slated for right in the middle.
Right. And so I could see them wanting to hold that value. Like it serves a valuable tentpole purpose. But that also like we don't like I don't know anything about this game. You know what I do know? You know what I do know? Go look at the Avatar specifically the Wii version on Metacritic.
Oh, yes, but
No, go look.
no, I know.
What am I suggesting you find?
Uh, you're suggesting that I find the review from NWR that gave it a 60?
Yeah,
That is the exact Metacritic of 60?
go ahead
you
and open.
reviewed? Yes.
There we go. There it is.
However, very different developers and very different budgets.
Oh, I know. But the thing is, I don't know that they care. Does that make sense? Like that's the tricky part. Like, how much do they care? Like if and this is a weird statement because how much they care may inversely impact if the game comes out this year. If they care a lot, it might not come out this year, or if they don't care at all, it might not come out this year.
They've
If they
said that they care very deeply about this. So here's
they told me they cared very deeply about the Wii game I reviewed.
yeah, fuck that. So this is what the Wikipedia is very anemic, but what it says is, so first of all, this is not coming to PS4 or Xbox One.
Okay.
It says the game was first announced in March 2017 when Massive announced that their next major title was based on James Cameron's Avatar. In a 2021 investor call, it was revealed that the game was tentatively set to release between April 2022 and March 2023. The game was titled Frontiers of Pandora with a trailer at E3 2021 and announced at the time for a release 2022. It's going to tell a standalone story in the Avatar universe. In July 2022, they delayed it to, quote, oh my god, either 2023 or early 2024.
Yeah. So
They put 2024 into the world.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this is one of those games that they're hoping to get for holiday, but slides into.
Yes, this is going to be in the fiscal ending in March 2024.
Right.
So I'm gonna go ahead and now that I've read that, that's going firmly into not releasing in 2023. Ubisoft loves to release shit in March. March is their favorite month of the year. Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon.
We know this is coming out.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm gonna say this probably turns people off because it's not a character action game, but I think it'll still be pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's like a 7.5 to 8.
Okay. What do you think about reviewers looking at that game versus its price tag?
I don't think they're gonna, and I don't think they should,
Okay.
because I think they're gonna get it for free anyway.
I mean, yes, I think the fact that it is a full retail game the same price as Bayonetta 3 has taken a lot of people off guard and like recontextualized some people looking at it, and that's what's got me curious.
Yeah, but I mean, it could be like we don't know how long it is either. Like it could turn out to be a
Oh
proper.
god, if you move that slow as in the trailers, if you just like teeter totter around and then that game is like 40 hours, fuck that.
I was thinking more like 15.
Even that might be if that trailer is indicative of the pace of the full game. Crash Team Rumble is a MOBA?
I reject that this is a AAA game.
Dude, this has been in development since 2016. It's a triple Activision. It's a AAA game. This
That's
feels
just
like they just desperately need to get this shipped. That this project has been kicking around idly for a lot of years, and they were just like looking at their books before the acquisition closes.
Yeah, this is Microsoft realizing they're about to. Well, doesn't Crash have weird ownership?
No.
Okay, one of the characters in that Activision platformer space has a weird fucking ownership situation. I can't remember which one it is, but whatever. This is Microsoft realizing they're about to own Crash Bandicoot, and that's really fucked up. Really fucked up.
Yes, and again, this has been in development for a distressingly long time to the point where when people thought this was going to come out before Crash 4 was announced.
Game Pass out of 10, as GX calls it. And I think that sounds very, very accurate. I'm gonna say sub 7. I'm gonna say the 65 to 69. I think the era for launching a new MOBA is well past.
Yeah, I feel like this game got fucked the moment that Pokemon Unite came out before it.
Oh,
The idea of the family-friendly
Jesus,
MOBA.
GX. Jesus, GX.
I mean, yes, but which problematic Crash character? There are multiple. But yes,
Well,
you
the
could
mask
have.
in particular.
There are multiple. Yes. No, you could have the racist Crash Masks and fucking Mumbo Jumbo from Banjo getting shot directly into the sun. Dead Space.
This is the remake of Dead Space.
Huh?
I'm gonna say this does well. I'm gonna say it's the low nines.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Dead Space is like really highly regarded, and I don't think they're gonna fuck around with it.
Um, Diablo 4.
Same.
Okay.
I think this is another situation where people have learned lessons about things they've done poorly in the past, like the launch of Diablo 3 was kind of a
The
mess.
launch of Diablo Immortal 7
Diablo
months ago.
Immortal was not great.
Well, the question is, was there any design philosophy crossover there that would need to have been changed on a dime or not?
Uh, um,
Yeah,
I can't say.
exactly. I think that's going to be a big damning thing. Um, Redfall.
I don't know almost nothing about Redfall. That's where I'm at right now.
Oh, 'cause that's out pretty fucking soon.
Yeah, I know. I just haven't been following it at all.
Yeah, this is a. I mean, so this is what the Prey team has been working
Yeah,
on.
yeah. It's Arcane's game.
Arcane Austin's game specifically, because there's
Right.
Arcane Leon who just finished up Deathloop.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so this is a
I would,
multiplayer vampire hunter game.
I'm gonna go the low to mid 80s. I think there's a lot of play in the multiplayer space.
Hmm.
Like I know what the game is, I just haven't really been paying much attention to it. And I think to really set yourself up to break that barrier and to get into the nines in that space is tough.
I
Just because there's
agree.
so many people in it.
Yeah, I feel like this game is gonna get dinged for not being an immersive sim, and it sucks that it's like getting dinged for something it's not even trying to be. But that's what a lot of press want that game to
Is,
be.
is that game going to stand out at all? No, and that's the problem. And I think
Uh,
that's what's going to keep it relatively
I
low.
mean, Microsoft every time it has gotten an announce like every time it's been at like an E3 or something, Microsoft has gone hard in showing it off, and I mean
Yeah.
it's probably gonna honestly fucking. Did you know that Grounded is incredibly popular on Game
No.
Pass?
No, I didn't.
It sure is.
But that's the thing though. Like I think Microsoft can push it really hard,
Yeah,
but
no, their game. I'm just saying they have a lot of multiplayer games that are like a lot more popular than you'd think on Game Pass that are just flying under everyone's radar.
yeah, but
Uh,
the only exercise here is what do reviewers do.
exactly, and I think that reviewers are going to have a fun time with it.
Yeah. Oh, well, and look, giving it an 8 to an 8.4 means they had a fun
Oh yeah,
time with it. I just think like it's not. It's the same thing we talked about with Tears of the Kingdom, where
yeah.
it's
I
like,
don't think it's going to fucking get nominated at the Game Awards, but I think it's going to be really good.
right, it's not going to blow anybody's mind.
Yes, Aiden Chronicle 100 Heroes.
Oh, I have no idea on this one.
Dude,
Um,
this could be literally any one of these, and I would believe
yeah,
you.
yeah, exactly. This could be amazing.
This could be
Th-
95 plus, this could be less than 60, this could be not releasing in 2023, it could be 70 to
yeah,
74, it could be literally anywhere on
yeah.
this.
There's no way of knowing. I think people will give it a pass a little bit because it's not a major publisher. So I think that'll give it some cover.
Uh, yeah, but 505 stuff, like,
Yeah,
has
but
been treated more seriously lately.
yeah, but I mean, I mean, but the development studio being what it is,
Oh,
I think
yes.
I think people will be like
Uh,
the expectations will be a little bit softer. So
yes.
I think the lower numbers can be skipped unless it's a disaster.
Yes, exactly. Aiden Chronicle Rising, which was the action RPG prequel,
Yeah,
uh, got between a 65 on Switch and a 74 on PS5.
yeah, and I kind of think of that higher number is where I want to target that 75-ish area. It's
Yeah,
like
okay.
70 to 75.
70, 75. Okay. Yeah,
But
GX, this is we're making Suikoden because Konami isn't, and then Konami went and announced that they were remaking slash remastering Suikoden.
Yeah, it's like, well,
It was a Kickstarter, and then seemingly right after that, they put into production. Fuck you! We're gonna make our own Suikoden.
not right after. Like they announced it after years of Eluding Chronicles being the thing being talked about. It's been
Exactly, that's
talked
what I'm
about for a
saying. I'm
long.
saying I didn't say
Yeah.
they announced it. I'm saying they probably put it into
Oh
production right
yeah.
after.
This is
Uh,
this is your Mega Man. Was it Mega Man 12?
11.
11? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we can make a Mega Man too. See?
Yes.
Um. Oh God.
Octopath Traveler 2. Here's the thing. All right, history has proven me right on this one. When Octopath Traveler came out, the press went fucking head over heels over this shit. It has an 83 on Switch Metacritic. And then over time, people have started to realize all of this shit I was saying since day one, motherfuckers. History proved me right.
You don't get to like pump the victory sign here. I was saying a lot of the same shit.
No, I'm not saying this against you. I'm just saying like I had so many arguments about Octopath Traveler, but like, hey, the graphics didn't even look that fucking good because they turned on every effect rendering effect possible. Like
I think
the writing was not good, the characters were terrible, the fact that the character stories didn't interact was bad. The battle system was literally just Shin Megami Tensei. They just took press turn from Shin Megami Tensei, and reviewers were like, oh, a unique and brand new combat system that breathes life into shit. And I'm like, I hate you all, and I am remembering this day.
See, I think it would be better if they had stolen Radiant Historia's battle system because then the character classes would have mattered more.
100%. But
Uh,
instead, they did not. So, Octopath Traveler 2 comes
I
out, is like, what, the fourth HD 2D release?
I think it's the fifth.
So there's this, there's Triangle Strategy, there's, I'm blanking on its name, but I'm literally picturing it in my head.
Uh, um,
Live Alive.
Live Alive.
Oh, and then there's the Octopath mobile game.
Yep.
So this
And
is the
then
fifth.
and there it's pretty well established that there's probably another Dragon Quest in the hopper.
Oh yeah, no, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D is like, yes, that is already been announced, but this will be the fifth to release if you count the Octopath mobile game, which I do. So the style is not as novel. The combat system does not seem like it is evolving in any significant way past there. The only thing I can think of is the PS5 version of this game has a chance because Octopath Traveler 1 came to everything except PlayStation,
Right.
and this one is coming to PlayStation, which is a new bunch of reviewers.
So the story though does acknowledge multiple characters in the party at least, right?
100%.
Yeah, so I actually think there's going to be some things that were the problem with Octopath Traveler that actually are fixed here. Like that was
Yes.
I can't emphasize enough how much of a problem that proved to be as you're playing through the game.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Fucking terrible.
yeah, and I think they'll fix because the other thing was like the battle system was fucked up because the experiences were all wrong. Like you just didn't get enough experience for battles.
Yes, and then the difficulty gaps were just like were just
They're massive.
terrible. Yes, it was like, all right, fucking be 10 levels higher for this next mission. Wait, what the
Right.
fuck? Where was I supposed to get 10 levels?
And also the dungeons were super short because they had a target date to hit for the deal with Nintendo, I would presume.
Yes.
So
Also,
you end up with
Lemonade says how long until they announce HD 2D Chrono Trigger? Almost certainly not, because they only just went pencils down on the fucking we're sorry Steam release of Chrono Trigger, which received multiple major overhaul patches that they sent press releases about.
Also, you keep in mind that the size of that game is fucking gigantic,
Yes.
and it would be a nightmare to build from zero again.
Yes.
You know, the one they haven't done much with is Seiken Densetsu. Like they did the collection
they did a full and complete remake of 2 and
of
3.
of two. Did they do one of two?
Yeah. They've released it before that collection. Secret of Mana it came out and it was critically panned, and it's like $5 now.
Oh, Secret of Mana HD. Yeah.
No, it's I don't know what it's officially called, but uh,
That when I search for Secret of Mana remake, that's what I get.
yeah, Secret of Mana is on Steam right now. It's that 3D version. It
Yeah.
has a mostly positive. It came out on Steam in 2018. Yeah, and then they remade Trials of Mana in that same style. Where's the
Right.
current verdict on where that PC version stands? Now that they are finally fucking done, people basically call that PC version the definitive version of Chrono Trigger because it is basically the same uh graphics as the Super Nintendo game, except rendered at much higher resolution and cleaner. And then they didn't fuck with the font like they did with the Pixel remasters, and it has all the content you would want. And the music is, I believe, this is untouched. So it is just like, let's just take Chrono Trigger and make it widescreen and variable resolution.
Just want to play Secret of Mana right now. I just not this unmitigated urge to play that game.
Well, you can go get that fucking collection also.
Yeah, I mean I have the collection, I just haven't played it. Um,
Anyways,
I
where does Octopath land? I'm
I think
thinking
I think
75 to 80.
I think it'll end up about the same place as the first one, but that it'll deserve it more this time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you're thinking 80 to 84?
Yeah.
Let me actually check something because what did the Xbox and PC versions of Octopath do they have Metascores? Because I feel like that would be a really PC is 80, Xbox doesn't have a Metascore.
Yeah. Like I could see 80. Like
Yeah.
like right around that spot. I think that's about where, and I think the last game didn't deserve to get where it got.
No.
I mean I went on RFN and basically badmouthed it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think this one will probably, because the thing is, the mechanics of the game are more or less fine. Like the concept of the game, you could make an 80 out of that game. They just fucked up a whole bunch of stuff on the periphery, and it adds up. Like we talked about, the characters not interacting, the combat being all fucked up because of the level gaps, the levels not being any good because the levels, I mean the dungeons, because it seems like they had a deadline to meet and they made too fucking many of them because they wanted to have 8
Yes.
plots.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like these are all decisions that were made likely as a consequence of time. Like having the characters have unique interactions for you know, there's 8 every character plus 7 permutations of their interactions would have been a pain in the ass. So they just didn't. They just didn't. Um, hopefully now they don't have a time constraint on them, so they've had time to do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the reason why the characters don't interact, because it would be really inconvenient to make that game.
Yes.
Uh,
All right. So now we have possibly the most interesting is it coming out on this entire list. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And now
uh, uh, uh,
the instinct of course is fucking of course it's not. However, A, they've already shown off some of it, and B, it's going to be using the exact same engine and a lot of the same uh, combat system and gameplay design and character models and character and like VFX.
I think it's too valuable. I think it's got to go.
You think it's got to be this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I feel like if this game comes out in like December, then it will have had a 3-year development cycle for another episode, and I think that also worth noting, this is out on PS4, PS5, and PC, and they've already confirmed that that the second game, Rebirth, is launching first exclusively on PS5, so they can focus on getting the game out.
I think I think they'll give it whatever resources it needs to get there.
Yeah, I think
So
Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to get pushed out so they can get this fucking thing out sooner.
I think it'll probably get the low to mid 90s.
Okay. Final Fantasy 16 seems locked in that that's happening.
Yeah, I would say about the same for that.
Um, Yeah, exclusively means not PC. Yeah, they've no, they've said like if like PC for Rebirth is gonna come fucking later, but like they're only gonna target one platform at launch, just so that that thing can fucking launch, and then they can
All right.
dedicate resources.
All right. So I'm gonna ask a question here.
Yeah.
Does this game this Final Fantasy
Mm-hmm.
play like 15, which is to say, does it play like a piece of shit?
16?
Yeah,
No,
good.
no. We're getting to that game.
Because that game, I still can't believe how just I read reading reviews of that game after I played it. I'm like, what game did you play?
I don't feel as
And
negatively on 15 as you do, but like no, if also it's a completely different development team. Like I know there were jokes in the Discord about Sad 7 remake never came to Xbox. Sony spends a lot of money sometimes to make sure games don't come to Xbox.
that would
So
be anti-competitive, though. We wouldn't do that.
Sony has had some of this dirty laundry aired. They spend a lot of money to make sure that certain games never come to Xbox, and they have to re-up every year. There are a couple of games on this deal, and sometimes when something like a P5R shows up at an Xbox press conference, you're like, oh, guess they didn't re-up.
Or
Anyways,
I guess Atlas was given another number and said, "Hey, if you
yes,
don't re-up,
exactly. It's like, ooh, we're pitting you two against each other. Exactly. So no, my understanding is that 7 remake is currently actively being withheld from Xbox, and you should check again every March, because one of these Marches that deal will likely expire. Anyways, no FF16. Anyways, there were jokes in the Discord about the fact that they flashed the Creative Business Unit 3 logo up on this trailer because at some point Square Enix decided that they were going to rename all of their fucking internal dev divisions to just be corporate nonsense. Um,
it's
but
it's
this is the one team that wants you to know who the fuck they are because this is the FF14 team.
it just like for a company that seemingly can't stop tripping over their own uh junk about naming shit. And like, what if we named it Replurbia of Lapslance? Like
Uh,
that for them to just go like Creative Business Unit 3. It's like what the fuck happened
yeah, no,
there?
they just numbered all of their fucking divisions. Just every
Can
single
you can,
one just got 1 through, it was literally like 1 through 15 or some shit. And then this is the, like, again, creative business units 2 and 3 are the ones that want you to know their numbers. 2 is Nomura's team that makes the 7 remake trilogy and the Kingdom Hearts series, and then 3 is Final Fantasies 14 and 16. Also worth noting, there is exactly one team that did not get that rebranding, and that is Luminous Productions.
like I I feel well. GX's point of every creative business unit needs very extravagant logos. That's fair, but like, where is this commitment to a name that makes sense in other places? Because I really don't want to play another Relivia Depth Chronicles, the
I got no
Dio
fucking
Field expansion or whatever
dude. I
bullshit
have
they're
no
gonna do.
fucking clue. Again, just internally they wanted to align everything. No, I think 16 is going to. Also, here's my side bet for you. Everyone in this fucking chat, I want you all to remember this. Someone can take a clip of this. I want people to send me reviews that call Final Fantasy 16 the first M-rated Final Fantasy 16, or includes things like Final Fantasy goes M-rated, because all these motherfuckers clearly have forgotten the other M-rated Final Fantasies like Stranger of Paradise and Final Fantasy Type 0.
I think everyone has forgotten Stranger of Paradise because they blocked it out.
No. We had this conversation actually on a stream yesterday. Like, I'm still looking forward to DLC 3 when that comes out in a few weeks or months.
Good God.
No, they sold the season pass and they've been continuing to support that game. That game fucking ruled. Like, fuck all the haters. Stranger of Paradise is like one of the best games I played this year. It is going to be on my top 10 game of the year. That game unironically fucking rips. They made a really good Neo game. Um with some really smart changes to fit into Final Fantasy. Anyways, no, so yeah, 16 feels like a lock for coming out and a lock for being really high. Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
I
Speaking of a
think
game that feels like a lock.
I think that this game could get to the upper nines. Like,
Uh Jedi Fallen Order got like around an 80.
how?
I don't know. It got an because it was buggy as hell. It was like the buggiest thing when it launched. It got a 79
Okay.
on PS4 and an 81 on Xbox One, and it doesn't have a Metacritic on any other platforms.
Okay. And I don't think that'll be a problem this time.
Maybe not.
I I I would be really surprised because one, they've already made one of these fucking things. Um, but two, I think they recognize that people love the shit out of that game.
Oh, people love the shit out of that game. Yeah, I just don't like. I don't think this is touching 95 plus. I think this is probably somewhere between an 85 and a 94. If FF7 and Zelda are not getting a 95 plus, this is not getting higher than Zelda
Yeah,
and FF7.
you're right. You're right. All right, I'll go with the 90. Like this game potentially is going to be my game of the year. I was actually blown away by how much I liked um the
Yeah, no,
first one.
Jedi Fallen Order fucking rules.
Yeah, and I might have played it post all the bugs being dealt with,
Or many of them, but yes.
but like it's hard when it needs to be. It's forgiving when it needs to be. It has the right amount of exploration. It hits you with surprises. Um, I actually think the characters actually worked out pretty well.
Oh yeah, no,
Uh,
yeah.
it turns out having like an actual actor deliver your lines might be a good idea, unlike some other previous Star Wars titles. um, and it felt like it treated the lore well, which is not always something that recent Star Wars content has done.
Oh god.
But it
I
was just
have there are people that I know in this chat, specifically Matt, that I don't want to talk about this with great detail because of spoilers for stuff that Matt might watch in the
yeah,
near future, but one of the fucking things about where the TV shows are going that leaked over the last couple days,
mm,
the non-Andor TV shows like your Mandalorians, your Ahsokas, your Skeleton Crews
yeah.
have me howling
Oh God.
at how people are going to take them.
See, I
Anyways,
didn't.
no, you don't have to duck out, Matt. I'm not going
Yeah,
to
I
say
didn't.
more.
I didn't have any major bug issues with Fallen Order. I got through it relatively cleanly, and of
What
course,
platform did you
here
play? Did you play the Series X native version?
I did.
That, yeah, that was a
Is
game
that
that was really trying. It was like really, it was really buggy with low performance your console sounded like it was a spaceship for PS4 and Xbox One, and also yes, somehow PC ended up even the most buggy.
but I had the good version.
Yes, my wife played the Series X native version a couple months ago for the first time, before we went into Obi-Wan because it had the um, I mean it had just a lot of relevant stuff there with like the Inquisitors, and yeah, they had a really relatively bug-free time.
And
So
I guess the other perk of them using a real actor to play Cal is if they ever wanted to do the continuity in there, it's really easy. You just cast him to be an actor, which is
exactly.
his job anyway.
Yeah, no,
He
and
could
they're
just appear
also
in shit.
yeah. So this also takes place 5 years after the first game, and they wrote a book to bridge the gap, and that's coming out 1 week before the game.
Really giving you time to read the book.
I know. I as soon as I saw that release date, like they announced that release date and the whole book like a week and a half ago, and then when I saw the release date and I saw the game's release date, I was like, "Fuck you."
I mean, they're gonna have to put content in the game to at least explain it, because 90% of the people won't read the book. But
Exactly.
like, has no one learned from the Balan Wonderworld book? Please.
Um. Anyways, Forspoken. Now this is the game by the FF15 team, except they lost their director, and Matt and I played the demo that
Yeah.
came out during the Game Awards, and I'm gonna try and find the
See, again, we talked about naming here. Forspoken. Like,
formerly Project Athia. Yes.
yeah, like, not a good name.
Nope.
Nonsense name.
Mm-hmm.
Why Square Enix should name their studios like this?
All right. So I am okay. I am pulling up the chat between Matt and and I'm gonna read this out loud. Here it is. I say to Matt, this is the start of a conversation. Have you played that Therefore Spoken demo? Matt, didn't know there was one. Me, limited time PS5 demo available as of the Game Awards. Matt, guess I'll
God.
download that. Me, it's 30 gigabytes and weird.
Great.
4 hours later. Oh, I don't like how Forspoken feels at all.
Good.
Me, it's so weird. Balancing the bumpers and triggers like that while holding the circle button is such a weird control scheme. Matt,
Oh, I don't like that how that sounds at
none
all.
of the projectile magic ever feels any good to use, but the melee magic is also bland. Me,
Oh.
it's so weird because this is the FF15 team, and at least for me, that game's combat was alright. Uh, Matt, it's funny that this game is trying to give me Devil May Cry grades.
Oh no.
Um, Also, Matt, the use of adaptive triggers feels very well. I guess we should use this. Why
Oh.
is opening a chest and taking the item out of a chest two different button presses?
I I actually appreciate that. That's a
Um,
great fuck you from the game developer.
um, then Matt also says, I'm doing a Discord stream to one of my friends, and one of them said the main character feels like someone had a Marvel movie described to them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm feeling good about this one.
Dude,
I'm gonna go.
the Forspoken demo, those two words were trending for like the last 3 days, and every time I clicked in, it was like 15 to 20% of people being like, holy shit, this combat system was an enormous learning curve, but now that I've learned it, I'm having a lot of fun. And the other 80% were, fuck this game! Not since Balan Wonderworld has Square Enix put out a demo so irresponsibly.
I'm gonna say, unfortunately, I think this is gonna hit a 70.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think this is gonna get a 73. It is very,
Uh,
very pretty.
yeah, that's gonna do a lot of lifting.
I was able to get the game to run at 120 hertz and still have it look very pretty on my PS5.
Yeah, that's gonna do a lot of lifting.
And the story was followable. The I don't want to write it like I don't like the dialogue sucks, but I don't want to just like say the story is bad because the demo fucking just throws you in the middle of the game. It literally like they made a fucking previously on recap for the start of the demo that's just like, here's how you got here. And then it just throws you in. But yeah, no, the dialogue sucks. Anyways, what if the story had no dialogue and was full of musical sequences?
Oh god.
Break it down, farmer. All right, Wild Hearts.
Uh, Wild Hearts. Oh shoot! This is one of those ones where I have to remember which game this is.
This is the EA one.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
This is Omega Force developed and Electronic Arts published.
Yeah. This is one of the ones where like, those are two publishing team. Why?
Omega
What?
Force is not a publisher.
Yeah, but Omega Force is owned by a publisher.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. And that publisher's logo flashed up on the screen.
Yeah.
Why aren't they publishing it?
Because they want this to be a success in the West.
Uh,
You know that Koei Tecmo publishes all of the Nintendo Muso games in Japan, right?
I do. I'm aware.
Yeah, but that they super don't in the West because they want it to be a success.
Well, Nintendo probably is afraid of letting them do it.
Yes, extremely not to be confused with Sayonara Wild Hearts.
I'm gonna say this game probably hits into the 80,
Yeah,
85 range.
this is a Monster Hunter.
I think there's gonna be people who are like, eh. But yeah, that's to me that's kind of where it caps out at.
Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, which is a 2011 Wii game, about 11 and a half years later at a $10 markup.
In that 70 to 74 range.
Yeah. I just, can't get over the fact that they're just remaking a game
Because they fucking
from
can!
12-ass years ago and charging more for it. You have no memory of this existing? Yeah, they're taking that Wii game, which was literally in the rest of the world called Kirby Wii or Kirby's Adventure Wii. And
Good for them. You know what? Get that dollar.
yes, and they're just fucking porting it.
Get that fucking dollar.
I'm not saying it's gonna be bad. I'm just also saying the audacity of if any other fucking company did this, people would be so livid.
They do though. Companies do remakes all the time.
More expensive remakes of games where they're not changing that much and the game is fucking 12 years old. At least with The Last of Us Part 1, you could be like, damn, that does look a lot better.
Yeah, but then you were like, but why?
I mean, yes. Believe me, yes. However,
this is the third time you've remade this game, and this time you really remade it. Why? Please stop. Please stop. We're all asking you to stop. All right, what's next? We got to get moving.
Spider-Man 2.
I'm gonna say that the mid 90s number. I think it's gonna have the same issue of that 90 to 94.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that game is going to blow the fuck up. I am personally very excited for that. All right, Horizon VR Call of the Mountain.
Oh God! See, now I got to deal with the VR, and VR is gonna scatter the review scores.
It's gonna scatter the review score because this is the launch title that they're gonna send to all of the press. So this is the first game everyone's gonna play on this new headset.
Right, and you're gonna be dealing with people who like VR and people who don't, because the press are gonna get kits.
Yep.
I'm gonna say 80.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically gonna be a review of the hardware. But also, you're going to be dealing with people who like VR, people who don't like VR, and that's going to make things weird. And yeah.
Yes. Persona 4 Golden.
I think the fact this game is old is going to show up in the reviews.
I certainly agree. What did it get on Steam? It has an 87 on Steam and a 93 on Vita.
Yeah, but both of those you're preaching to the choir on those reviews.
I mean, you're preaching to the choir on PS4, Xbox One, Game Pass, and Switch.
But I could see more outlets beyond Vita reviewers getting involved on this one.
Oh, I mean, again, on PC, it has 29 reviews.
Right.
It has a pretty big swath. Yeah.
I think we're headed towards the 80 to 84.
Okay. Yeah.
But I could see it going lower. If it was 75 to 79, I wouldn't be surprised.
I would be very surprised because that would probably mean that someone is realizing, hey, this thing aged like rotten milk. But no one's going to realize that because it's Persona. Pikmin 4.
Pikmin 4. Uh, uh, this is one of the ones where I'm like, is it gonna come out?
Yeah, is this releasing?
I'm gonna say so. Pikmin 4 was originally announced for in development about 10 years ago.
Yes,
I know they
almost
were.
literally.
I know they were talking about Hey Pikmin. I know they were talking about Hey Pikmin when they
Yep.
originally said Pikmin 4 is in development. But I choose to say they were talking about a game called Pikmin 4. Uh, Look, we know when they said that line, they were actually talking about Hey Pikmin. We know that, but it's
Yes.
funnier to pretend like this game's been in development for a million years. Um, it'll be good when it comes out. Like I have absolute confidence. Like Pikmin 3, they really knew. Like the new version of Pikmin 3, they know what they were doing.
Hmm.
I have absolute confidence they're gonna nail this game. Um, and it'll get good review scores because I think it'll also deal with self-selection on who decides to review it and who doesn't. Um, but does it come out? I think it does. And here's my reasoning. Because I don't think Nintendo wants to release Switch games in 2024 if they can avoid it. Does that make sense? I think at that point they would have transitioned this to different hardware.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna say it does, and I'm gonna say it's in that 80 to 84 range.
Okay. Pragmata.
I don't even know what the fuck this is.
It got a fucking concept trailer at the announcement of the PS5. This is from Capcom.
Oh, that thing? Not coming out in 2023.
And they're saying it's out in 2023.
Fuck that. No.
Persona 3 Portable.
I think this one's gonna do worse than Persona 4 Golden, even though I
Definitely. Because it looks like shit.
and also it's got the weird PSP version of the
Yeah.
game, so all that content got cut.
Oh, no,
Uh,
only the answer got cut.
well, it also the world isn't explorable either, is it? It's just like
Yes, I mean
menus.
it is all menu based, but no,
Yeah.
I don't like AI upscaled art.
I've seen some art from the AI upscale that's amazing. It's
Th-
just like
Fucking
the signs at stores are amazing.
yeah, P3P looks fucking garbage. I'm sorry.
Um, Also, I think people don't like P3s. I actually liked P3's story more than I liked P4's, but it's I think part of people
People
don't
like
like
P3. It's just that most people have not played P3 and because people played P4 but not 3.
or they played 4 first and then they played 3. And I think people there are definitely people I've seen who are like, but 3's so depressing. It's like, yeah, it is. Nothing good happens in 3. It's a bad scene the whole way down.
I
I
don't
think
know in this one if you romance a character early enough they just don't die.
uh, but he sucks. Like also he's too old. Like that's the other part. Whatever. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Um, but there is a character that's gonna die, and that's a real bummer. Uh, I'm gonna say I said 80, right?
Yeah, you said 80 for P4G.
I could see this. I could see this scraping 65 to 69.
Okay.
But the only hold there is who's gonna fucking review Persona 3 Portable?
Hardcore JRPG fans.
Yeah, so move it up one notch.
Yeah. Uh,
Because I bet a lot of the reviewers will have played this version of this game before.
all right. Here it is. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, Gate Rune, and Dunan Unification Wars.
Jesus fuck.
Thank you, Konami.
Uh,
That is the full fucking name.
are they redoing the combat system?
Oh,
Or
I
is it
don't
the same?
think so.
Okay. Is this a remake or a
Remaster.
remaster?
It
Okay.
includes graphical improvements such as enhanced backgrounds and redrawn portraits, new and enhanced sound effects, Mode 7 style world map system, and quality of life features such as a fast forward toggle for battles.
I'm gonna say 70 is the cap for this game.
Okay.
Like I think that's the absolute ceiling. Because Suikoden, I've played Suikoden not that long ago. I like it a lot, but boy does it feel old. And the things that they've listed there do not fix it feeling old.
Nope.
It just
Um.
makes them faster.
All right. The Legend of Heroes: Trails to Azure.
Ah. I'm gonna say the high 80s.
Yeah. So Trails from Zero, which is the part one to this,
Yeah.
got a spread of 80, 86, 90. When it came out like 3 months ago, with the PS4 version that is a different version of that game that is objectively worse, getting the low score.
Is Trails from Zero a starting point for the series?
It can be.
Okay. This is like there's so many games in this fucking series now at various levels of availability that it's just like if you even wanted to get in, where the fuck do you get in?
Yeah, there's. I would say that yeah, Trails from Zero is not the best entry point, but it is an entry point. Trails to Zero to Azure is not, because it is the part two.
Right. Right.
Yeah, there's a trilogy, then a duology, then a quadrilogy. And
Yeah, it
so it starts with the Trails from the Sky games, which are only on Steam right now. It's the only
yeah.
way you. They were on PSP. You can't get those versions anymore because they've delisted the entire PSP section of PSN. Um,
Yeah.
then there's the then there's the PC versions, which are playable on the Steam Deck if you have that. If you have access to PC, I do recommend starting there. Then there's Zero Azure, which is a pretty tight duology, and that references um, Sky a lot, but it's not Sky is not like essential for it. And then you jump to Cold Steel, which is the quadrilogy, where you pretty
What a
much have
nightmare.
to. Again, once you jump into like one of these, like the trilogy, duology, quadrilogy, or like what comes after that, like you have to start at the first one of those.
Right.
Like Cold Steel 2, is like almost impossible to start at. You
What
know,
if you what if you what if you are coming to a new system and you just decide to release the third game in the trilogy on that system? Is that a good plan?
well,
Ugh.
the first Cold Steel 1 and 2 are on Switch, but only in Hong Kong and Korea.
Yes.
It's a nightmare out here, dude. Yes.
Oh,
Anyways, Azure, I could see. Yeah, for me, I think this is going to be 85 to 89 easy.
yeah. Which is where I put it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Um.
I I think it's got a cap, and I think that cap is probably 90, just
Yeah.
because what that thing's gonna ask of you.
And then there's Trails into Reverie. Now
I don't
this
even.
one is the other Trails game coming out this year in English. I've played this because this came out 2 years ago in Japanese, 2.5 years ago.
Fuck's sake.
Let me tell you, dude, they've been desperately trying to catch up. Um, Let me fucking tell you about this thing. This is the worst starting point in the history of this franchise,
Good. 10 out of 10.
because this game entirely exists as a send-off fan service game for the first 9 games, which is that trilogy, duology, and quadrilogy.
Yeah.
It has
So
This game has 80 fully voiced playable party members
no.
that all have their own full stories, because you're expected to have played 9 full ass length JRPGs to get here.
No, thank you.
And
I'm gonna
uh
uh,
yes.
I'm gonna say that because it's so fan servicey and because the reviewers won't have actually experienced these characters,
Mhm.
I'm gonna say 70 to 74.
Yeah, I think that this game is very good. Yes, yeah, Lemonade. Like this is yes, because right after Trails into Reverie, the series takes a deep breath and has like a soft reboot.
Right.
Not like a the canon didn't happen, but like how so all of these games take place consecutively on the timeline and in all on the same continent. And so like what separates Trails in the Sky from Trails Zero and Azure to Cold Steel is what country on the continent they're following, and after Trails from Reverie, they just take a deep breath and move on to a whole another country that they've never shown.
Right. Just because now that can maybe bring some order into what platforms and where and globality of where this game is available, they can fix.
Exactly. So it's a soft entry point. Like it's not the start of the franchise, but it
They're
is.
Yakuza zeroing it
Yes,
basically.
but but like all the characters that you're playing as are new characters that you're getting in on with the ground floor.
Right.
Even if you're not in with the world at the ground floor.
I mean, Fire Emblem used to do this, where they would just go like, "We're just going to move to another continent altogether." Like they're like these games are taking place in this. Not every Fire Emblem game takes place in the same world, but a lot of them would. They just jump to another continent, so they don't have to. It's like you don't have to worry about what happened in this other fucking game. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like, we're gonna reference it. Like
Right,
maybe there's gonna be like 3 or 4 characters that show up again. But
right.
yes, exactly.
But
So that's where Reverie is at. Again, this is like that it is the single worst entry point into the franchise.
yeah,
Super Bomberman R2
I
caught
I
my eye when I saw that fucking thing was coming out this year.
yeah, like Super Bomberman R was a game that reviewed kind of badly, but it sold really well and shamed them into making it pretty good.
Yes.
Which is amazing. And then they released on everything else because, like, shit, we have this game that's actually like good now. What do we do with it?
Yes. So Super Bomberman R, when it first came out, got a 62 on Metacritic on Switch. When they released it a year later on Xbox One and PS4, it got 63 and 67.
Right.
And then they released Super Bomberman R Online last year, and that got a 61.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this probably gets a 65.
Okay. Do you want to air it with the Skull and Bones or the Dead Island 2?
Dead Island 2.
Okay.
I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's likely to go higher than lower.
Gotcha. GX says we need a different tier list for this, and it's what angle will the camera be at?
Just make it overhead.
No.
Oh,
I refuse. Alright. From my perspective, this is one of the last 2 games on this list that has the possibility of cracking maybe into this 95 plus. Starfield.
Yeah. Well, it also has the possibility of cracking into the 2024.
When is it allegedly coming out now? First half is what Microsoft is saying, because it was originally going to come out last month.
Okay. I think it
like they gave it a solid date of 11/11/22.
I think it will crack that number because reviewers are going to be hyped for it.
Okay.
I think it's just going to barely squeak in.
So you're thinking it's pretty much going to be at 95?
Yeah.
Okay. But you do think it's going to get a higher Metacritic than Zelda?
I do, because it's new. More than anything. I think more than anything, that's the biggest thing.
Wolong Fallen Dynasty.
I don't know enough about this one.
It is a fucking sick ass combat game. I think it's by Team Ninja.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not saying I don't know what it is. I'm saying I don't know enough about this game to even make a guess. Like,
every time I see a video of this fucking thing on Twitter from someone who's like in a beta or something, I'm like, God damn, that looks amazing.
Yeah. I'm trying to put my head
thing. GX says I like sick ass combat. Yeah, this gives me Neo Sekiro vibes in like a really good way.
I'll say the mid 80s one. Okay. 85. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'll be an 8. I just don't know which side of the 8-5 number.
That's fair. Hogwarts Legacy.
Because here's the thing. Putting aside everything about that franchise.
That's hard to do, but yes.
Well, I can do that from the standpoint of talking about the development team.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I have seen is they are fucking going all the fuck out on this thing.
Okay. So, yes.
From a resources standpoint, they are pouring money into it.
The publisher is. The developer is taking their money and making alt-right hate videos.
Okay, fine. But the money cannon has been turned on for this product.
Yes, yes, no, there is brand support coming from Warner Brothers, but the the leadership team on the development team and the leadership team on the franchise are both determined to make this thing fucking sink, and it's hilarious to watch them compete with the money cannon.
So I think it will. This is a situation where like if either of those variables was off, it'd be a lot easier to predict. Like if we just had one of those variables, but we don't. We have them both.
GX says, I still have no idea what exactly this game is. This is a generic third-person RPG without that does not have branching stories. It has side quests.
Yep.
It is a licensed game.
Yep. But with more money than you would normally see in a licensed game.
It is a graphically pretty licensed RPG where you can do side quests and help someone, and then maybe they'll give you some money for it.
I would like to explore the world of Hogwarts is what this game is.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what this game is. And that's going to have, with people in the review group, that's going to have reviewer age group, that's going to have an emotive appeal.
It is, but I also think that this is one where people who like the game are going to be vocally angry at reviews, because reviews are going to more often, many reviews, especially from major outlets, are going to come at this with, like, we should talk about the politics of this world, and people will say, get politics out of my game review.
So that's the thing. We're going to see the whole spectrum on this one. We're going to see people who come into this game going, I want to give it a bad score. And we're going to see all the way to the extreme of, I want to give it a good score because fuck those other people. Like,
Yes.
We're going to have the whole fucking spectrum here. And that's the Metacritic situation. We're dealing with a median, or we're dealing with the mean.
Yes.
So we're going to end up with a situation where, like, all of these things, there is going to be some outlet that gives this game a completely ridiculous, like, 2.
Yep.
And there's going to be some outlet that gives this game a completely ridiculous 10.
Yep.
And they're going to zero each other out.
Nope. Metacritic is not a mean. It says IGN is more important than 2 of your fucking small websites.
Okay, fair. But I mean, in sort of in a general, like these things are going to happen, and they're going to sort of keep countervailing each other. So the question is, where does it end up? And I think it's going to end up somewhere in the fucking middle, because that's what's going to end up happening. We're going to have basically weights being dropped on both sides, and Metacritic's just go, fuck it, I don't know, 70.
Yeah, no, I think this is I think the first digit of its Metacritic is a 7. I just don't know if it's going to be the 70 to 74 or the 75 to 79.
Yeah, so I'm going. I don't like that I don't have anything I only have 1 in the other 7 category.
You can move things around if you have changed your mind about any of these.
I haven't. Like, I feel good about them. I just don't like that I'm sitting here with only 1 thing in the upper 70s.
I mean, you also have nothing else in the fuck this game category.
Well, yeah, because I don't think we've dropped anything in here that's like true fuck this game.
I also kind of tried not to, but
yeah. So I mean, I think I'm gonna go with the lower 70 tier.
Okay.
I feel like that's where we're gonna end up. Like it's just going to be a situation where we're going to have like both extremes, and then we're going to have reviewers that are completely oblivious to everything. They're going like, it's fine.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of alt-right game directors, Atomic Heart.
I don't know a ton about this one either.
This one is just the one that everyone keeps getting extremely hype about when all the weird trailers keep coming out. It's trying to be BioShock.
Yeah, I've seen the trailers, and it's one of those like, okay, it looks nice. It visually, like, it's got the tech here is good. It's got weird shit in it. It had the trailer that it had during the Game Awards was super weird.
Yep.
But I didn't feel like I really understood the game as such.
It's BioShock.
Okay. BioShock's fine. People like BioShock. I could see this being the low 8s. I could see this creeping into the upper 8s. I'll go with the low 8s because I'm just playing the averages of what's the state of this game when it launches. Is it in good shape, or is it in great shape?
I believe it is Eastern European developer that is crunching 90-hour weeks. So my guess is it's going to be on that lower side in terms of polish.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be in the like, oh fuck, this thing is a complete shit show level of polish.
No, Atomic Heart has not been canceled because of the whole Russia thing. Anyways,
Yeah.
Tales of Symphonia remastered at 30 FPS, motherfucker.
Release the good game in the series. Dawn of the New World or bust, you cowards.
I got bad news. I know the joke you're making. There is no good game in the Tales franchise.
I like Tales of Symphonia. It's fine. I don't like the fact that they made a 30 FPS one that's based off the PS2 game because they get that handful of extra content that nobody gives a fuck about. Um, versus the 60 FPS GameCube one that also has the better graphic style because there is a slight change in the graphic style.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, fuck
Uh,
you. You're gonna take that PS2 version and you're gonna hate it. This is just
welcome.
the PS3 version on PS4/Switch, but without the second game.
I there are a lot of Tales games I like. There are a lot of Tales games where I'm like, okay, this is fine. And then there's Dawn of the New World, which is a game that gave, and I'm not even, this isn't me being facetious. I'm not making a joke. You can go back and listen to like a 12-year-old R, maybe older than that, like a 13-year-old RFN where I was playing it contemporary to the episode. It gave me an existential crisis. Like that game is so fucking surreal and bad, but also just like absolute. I made the joke earlier that like this is a Star Wars game that actually seems to respect its own canon. I have never seen a direct sequel that does not give a fuck about its own canon, like Dawn of the New World. The only thing that even comes close is Bravely Second, which just said like, fuck it, actually, space demons. And guess
Brave
what? That's the plot of this one.
Bravely Second or Episode 9.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
yeah, there are 17. According to Wikipedia, they have classified 17 games in the mainline Tales series. Dawn of the New World is not one of them.
no, it's not. Um,
Uh, no.
and like and by all rights it should be. It's no less ambitious uh than Symphonia, but except it's fucking horse shit. Nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah, no. Like, literally looking at this fucking list, yeah, fuck all these games.
Dawn of the New World says all of that stuff that you just did turns out it was space aliens. Fuck you. And I'm not even joking. That's the twist. But also
Uh,
they were demons. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say this is sub 60. I think this game has so much like it's 30 FPS. It's gonna look worse than the GameCube version does if you were just to if you literally up-res the GameCube version and did nothing else,
yes.
it would look better than this PS4 game.
Yes.
That's it. They
And
could have done that and been done.
yes,
And it would
no,
have been
if like Matt says, if you take this 30 FPS version and hack it to run at 60, it breaks the game.
yeah,
Because it can't run it.
yeah.
Because
It
it
can't
has
run
animation
60.
tied to 30.
Right. Now, even though there is a 60 FPS version of this game,
Yep.
but they're not using that one.
Of course not.
It's absurd.
Um, again, like James said, this is like the same. Like, honestly, like, this happens more times than it should. Like, this is fucking go look at Trails from Zero and Trails to Azure, which are they're taking a PS4 version.
Yeah.
They are uh they are fixing it for PC. They like so it's a PS4 upscale of a PSP game.
Yeah.
They're just taking that and they're saying, fuck it, break it open. Let's get Durante's team over on PC to fix it, make it great, make it an amazing PC version, uprise everything. We're going to redo a lot of the art assets. We're going to up the frame rate. We're going to fix a lot of the bugs. And then we're going to port that version back to Switch so that when things get localized, on day and date, you have the good PC version, the good Switch version, and the original busted-ass PS4 version. Because they didn't port it back to PS4.
Yeah. So if you play that Trails game on a PS5 and on a Switch,
The Switch version will legitimately look better.
and not by a small margin.
Not by a small margin at all. It is like substantive that the Switch version looks better than the PS4 version on a PS5. It's fucking bonkers. And yeah, they're going to do it again.
You can go to the website of the publisher and look at screenshots and literally see the difference.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's legitimately shocking.
Uh, Again, James has not played any of the Trails games. Not to be confused with the Tales games, the Trails
But
games. And I literally said like, this needs to be on your radar. Look at this horse shit.
no, remember, I'm the one who messaged you first with that screenshot that somebody posted comparing signs from a store where
Oh,
they
that was
upres.
after I had already messaged you about it. But yeah,
Oh
I
my
think that was.
god,
I think yeah.
what a fucking nightmare. So yeah,
Yes.
so like this I can't believe they're just not gonna just upres the GameCube version. Yeah, I know. There's a tiny bit of PS2 exclusive content or PS3 version content that will lose. Nobody gives a fuck about that content. It's some costumes. Redraw the costumes and hack them in. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. No.
Oh my
It's.
god. What a the music's worse too, isn't it?
Yep.
Uh what an achievement. What an achievement.
All right. Fatal Frame 4 is finally coming to English officially.
Uh, uh, yeah, I'm gonna say this game, if it gets widely reviewed, we're looking at a 65 to 69. I'm thinking it won't though.
It won't.
The outlets that choose to review it are to be more receptive. So I'm gonna say 70 to 74.
Makes sense. Fire Emblem Engage.
Oh Jesus Christ! I have no idea. I have no idea because this game is fucking hideous to look at.
The only thing. Okay. Let's just agree it's absolutely coming out in 2023. Like there's a 0% chance
Oh
it's
yeah,
missing.
no, this is absolutely coming out.
I also don't think it's going to be less than 60.
No, it won't be.
Like,
But they've shown a remarkably small amount of this game in action.
only on the English YouTube. On the Japanese YouTube, they've shown a lot more.
Yeah, I know. But like in the English language YouTube, I think or English language content, I think with the DLC trailer we got with the Game Awards, I think we've seen more content on the DLC trailer than we have in
No,
trailers.
there was a relatively unpromoted 6.5 minute long English language deep dive.
Okay. That's it. It's and like what I've seen, but let's also agree that like it is abrasive to look at. Like it is going to rub some reviewers the wrong way.
Honestly, so okay,
It's
real quick. The two things about this game, they're like the kind of the ground level is this is a Gust-ass developed Gust-ass game.
oh fuck yeah, it is.
And the other thing, yeah, I agree with GX. I think it's going to bother a lot fewer reviewers than you think. And then the other thing is, from Nintendo's perspective, and like from like knowing what the game is, and like so having some conversations I've had, like this is 100% being no. This is Fire Emblem 16. This is like not a spinoff. It's not a. It's like
Oh no, I don't.
This is a.
I know that.
Yeah, this is a ground up. This is just a mainline Fire Emblem.
Oh, I get that. I just feel like people aren't going to take it as seriously because it looks like it's made out of candy. Um, I think because reviews are all about perception, and I think that will have a negative pressure on its reception. It like all right. So the idea here that the artist could have been more abrasive and that it's not abrasive, I actually think if they had gone further, it might have been less jarring. I think the main character looks like a shit garbage. I think that the twin tail red blue hair bullshit, like someone should go to prison. Like there's a point where it's like, no, you need to stop. And I mean they made a fucking VTuber. They made a bad VTuber. I mean, relatively speaking. So like something needs to come in and go like, fuck. Okay. How do we deal with that? I'm gonna say this game probably gets in the low 8s.
Yeah, probably. I mean, yes. I think like for me, in terms of like the perception thing, I just find it very weird that they have been so heavily marketing on the get the emblems, get the characters from the other Fire Emblem games, haha. And
Which
when that's
and
that
that makes me feel like it's a fucking mobile game.
it like also the fact that there's a gotcha in this for other
Yeah.
Fire Emblem characters, and you're like, it's like literally then that begs like the first question is what makes this different from Heroes. I look at this and I'm like, oh no, this is just like that's just how they're leading the marketing. That's just a like mid-sized component of this game, which is just a whole unrelated Fire Emblem game.
Yeah, this is the fourth Fire Emblem game where it's about we need to summon the heroes from Marcera. Like they just keep doing this fucking part.
Yeah, GX. It has
Well, the
they
fan
put this into Japanese, so Japan got a second. Here, let's take a breakdown trailer that was like another 7 minutes at the same time as the Game Awards trailer going live. That was like it ended with and there's DLC. Um, but what so this trailer is probably going to come out in English because the first breakdown trailer came out in Japan and then like a week later it had an English dub. So this will probably be out in English in a week or so. But specifically, what that gotcha is you basically just roll and you get accessories, and this one says like this is Chris. And then you look at it, and it's just a ring that says +2 HP, +1 attack.
great.
But it's just an accessory. It's not like a unit, but it shows you a sprite from the original game to be like, hey, remember this other character? So like, yeah, again, if this wasn't literally the same premise, also the fact that I believe it has like defensive maps, like you're building like I'd like you're building a defensive map structure for your castle and putting units places just like you do in Heroes is also kind of weird.
Yeah.
To what end is so that you can say have a reason to say you're celebrating the entirety of the franchise instead of just Marth and Tiki
Yet
if you buy
Marth,
the DLC.
yet Marth is still like prominently featured.
Oh yeah, like biggest face
Just,
on the box art, like bigger than the main
just
character.
like this Marth is inescapable. Marth is everywhere. Oh my god. All right, let's move on. I
If you do that without randomly acquiring them, then you have to game design acquisition events for every single character. Forza Motorsport 2023.
ah, this is an interesting one.
Yes, it is. It's gonna look real pretty, and it's not gonna
It's
be a Horizon game.
it's gonna look really really good. The question is how hard do they go into microtransactions because that was one of the bummers on the last one.
My guess is enough to be distressing, but the Forza series has a long history of having microtransactions turned off during the review period and turning them on right after reviews go live.
Sure does. But
Just so that it doesn't impact reviews. Wink, wink.
did they rename this? Is this a soft is this a C boot?
Yeah, pretty much. This
Oh,
is, yeah, the next year's game is just simply called Forza Motorsport.
yeah. I think this will be 85.
85 and up or 85 and under?
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, that checks out. Um, Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name.
Too high. This is the sequel to 7, right?
This is the sequel to 6 that takes place at the same time as
Oh,
7
all
and
right.
is follows Kiryu, and it has
Whose
beat 'em
story
up
is
combat.
over? Why?
And it has beat 'em up combat.
Okay. I think this will probably be about an 8.
Yes.
Like look, they tried to end his story with 5. Like they pretty clearly gave themselves a definitive ending. I won't get into it. And then they didn't. It was 6. And okay, fine. Fine. They didn't. Like what they did with 6 to continue from 5 is acceptable.
Yes.
6 they gave him a massive ending.
Yep.
Like
Yeah, but they
Ending,
couldn't resist in 7. And so
an
you have to
ending
explain
ass,
that moment in 7.
an ending ass ending, an ending where he cannot come back from it.
The ending in 6 is not bad.
No, it's not. But it's like this is not an ending a character should come back from.
No, 100%. But again, they felt compelled to explain their cameo in 7, I
Yeah,
guess. Anyways,
but
so
the
yes.
answer was just don't show up in 7.
Dude, 7 had a lot more problems than that, but yes, you're
It
right.
did, it did. But like they could have brought the other characters back. They didn't have to bring
They
him
did.
back.
They did.
I know they did.
They brought everyone
That's
back.
my point. That's my point. He didn't need to show up.
Yes, so they are the thing that happens to the Yakuza organizations at the end of 7 is going to be the primary focal point from this, except from the perspective of someone who actually knows what's going on.
It's Kiryu caused the shit in 7 then.
Yes.
Which is the insane part, because that means everything that's happened in the criminal underworld for the last 20 years has been this asshole's fault.
Yes.
And if he had just gone away every time they let him go away, which there are at least 3, and actually gone away and just gone and married that girl from Taiwan that he talked about in the stupid dating sim where they're like, we should go back to Taiwan together, and he's, that would be interesting. Like, he wouldn't have these fucking problems, but no! He's got to go fucking undermine the government or some bullshit.
Yeah, so anyways, yes, this like Ishin is a beat 'em up. 8, which is not scheduled for 2023, is a JRPG.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'll get an 8. And that, to me, that makes it more interesting because it's not slow JRPG with a million fights. I really hope they learn their lesson because there's too many fucking fights for that combat system.
I hope they learn a lot of lessons from 7.
Yeah.
Alright, I only have 2 others, which were fucking kind of last minute. I was just scrolling the 2023 list of games, and I was like, those 2 might be interesting. Master Detective Files Rain Code, which is the next detective mystery game by the creator of Danganronpa.
Yes. And we've not seen a ton. We've seen a trailer from the Direct.
I mean, it's had a couple trailers, but like, yes, Nintendo did showcase this.
Yeah. I think it'll be fun. I mean, it looks nice. It looks nicer than pretty much any game that they've done. I'm gonna. Like there's reflective surfaces now.
So it looks better than. It's hard. It's really like. It's hard to say because again, this is like, 2Kill Games is a 7-person dev team that contracts things out, and I don't know who the actual dev team on this is.
Sure.
I think they're just saying it's Spike Chunsoft. So this is like the Danganronpa team, and this is also like the Zero Escape team, and then the Zero Escape team also worked on the Somnium Files games.
Yep. I'm gonna say
Danganronpa games got like really like.
They got solid reviews.
Yeah, they all of the ones except for that shooter got low 80s.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at on this one. But again, it could get pushed down a little bit if it gets a ton of reviews.
I do not see that coming.
No, but I mean, if it would depend on if somebody's pushing it, and I don't think anybody's in place to really push it. So
I see it getting about the same number of reviews as the second the Somnium Files game got.
Okay. Yeah, because if this was like Nintendo was hard pushing it or something, then I could see it getting more review outlets, and then maybe it comes down a little bit.
Now, Spike Chunsoft is just going to push this, but Nintendo just wanted to give him a shout out. That's all that was.
Which means it won't get pushed that hard.
Yeah.
All right.
And then last game is SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake.
I don't fucking know. Like, why did you include this game?
Because it's a fucking AAA game.
What is it?
It's a fucking 3D platformer.
Like a new one?
Yes.
Why?
Because their remaster of the GameCube game sold way better than it had any right to. It sold millions.
Fuck me. I don't know. I'm gonna go with the 60 to 64.
Okay. Yes, that fucking last.
How did it review? How did that review?
Um, let me see. Uh, God, it's hard because it basically has the same name as the original game, which has Metascores. The rehydrated edition got 68, 71, 69, 66.
Better than I expected.
So like, they all got high 60s, one broke 70.
Now, the this is obviously not the same people making this game.
I mean, so it's the same people that made the remaster, but not
Right,
the
but they
original
but
designers.
they yeah, they didn't have to come with new ideas. They basically remade a game. Now they have to make a new game,
Yes.
which is a very different ask.
Very different ask.
Uh I'm gonna say yeah, I'm gonna say that Nickelodeon won't let it out if it's not at least like a 65. So if we can move it up a
Oh,
little
that
bit.
is bold.
If they're spending AAA money on it, I'm gonna say they're gonna want
Oh,
to at
I don't think
least.
Nickelodeon is spending AAA money. I think Nickelodeon is just saying, yeah, use the IP.
Well, it's but there isn't. All right, who's the publisher?
Nordic. Or,
Oh,
no,
really?
fucking Embracer Group. Yeah, it's with whatever label this is under.
Oh, okay.
This is, I
Yeah,
think
then I
this
might.
this under whatever THQ is calling it.
Okay, then maybe. Yeah. All right. I'm letting it come down. Willing to come down a little bit. Yes.
Um,
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we go back there. Look. I'm not saying that they're worried about quality. I'm saying they're worried about return on investment. That Fairly Odd Parents TV show looks like it cost $8 to make.
yes, I don't think Nickelodeon is funding this thing at all.
Okay.
I think Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated is success, like Profit is funding this.
This is one of those like, okay, is are we getting the money that we want out of this?
I think they have money. I just don't know if they have the level designers they need. But we'll find out. So from this, three games that you are saying not releasing this next year: Assassin's Creed Mirage, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, and Pragmata. 2/3 of those are Ubisoft. You're saying that of this entire list, the game that's going to get the worst reviews is that fucking Tales of Symphonia remaster.
Yeah.
Um, and that the game that we know about, the AAA game that's going to get the highest meta score of the year, is going to be Starfield.
Yeah, I think so. I think Starfield. I took a little bit of a risk there because it's possible it comes out as kind of a mess, but I don't think Microsoft's gonna let it. Personally, I think they're more willing to let it sit and get good
People
because
really do
this.
like them Bethesda RPGs.
Yeah. Like, and the risk for a Bethesda RPG is always has historically been like, what if it comes out and it's on fire? But I don't think Microsoft's gonna let it, and
People
I think
didn't
Mike.
even like Fallout 4 that much, and it got an 88.
Right. I think Microsoft views this as a prestige game.
Oh, 100%.
So they're
Again,
gonna want it.
this was their 2022 game, and they bumped it, which left
Right.
them without any games this year, and they
They're
accepted that.
they're going to want this game to come out and absolutely slay. And also, people have been sitting around getting tense waiting for it. So I think even if it's not necessarily like the greatest game, I think it's going to get a little bit of an extra buzz on its number.
Yeah.
So to me, this is the best candidate for hitting that target, even if I don't necessarily think it's going to be the best game on the list.
Okay.
Uh, but again, there's also the risk on this one that maybe it's something happens and there's like a dumpster fire. I think with Bethesda under Microsoft's auspices, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
But like I can't rule out the possibility that it did happen.
Yes.
So,
No,
you know,
what I'll say is that like uh if most of these games do ship in 2023, which I do expect most of them to,
right.
holy shit 2023.
It's a lot of games.
It's a lot of AAA games. Like for me, like I am definitively. Hey, congrats Matt on your pity trophy. Um,
Damn it.
I fucking like I am definitively day one on Theatrhythm, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy 16, Jedi Survivor, Spider-Man 2, both English Trails games, Wo Long, both Yakuza games, fucking Pikmin 4, Fire Emblem, Master Detective Archive. Um, yeah, there's just enough of these AAA games that I am like locked in day one. That I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm
Yeah.
super excited. All right, that's 2023. Again, I didn't fuck throw indie games on there because I could just throw 300 games on there
Yeah, and
and
it's
say
also
these are the ones releasing in January.
it's midnight on Sunday, so like at some point
Exactly.
I need to go to sleep.
Exactly. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for jumping on and joining. Um, Stay tuned later in this week. Why even release games at this point? We've seen the whole year. Um, Sad that one of my most anticipated releases is the Battle Network collection. Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of interested in that thing. It's a lot of it's a lot of content though.
There's a lot of content. All right. Um all right. Stay tuned Wednesday. It is in the calendar. We're locking it in. Matt and Joe are going to return to twitch.tv/SerenMCN, and they are going to rank more fucking Nintendo games. Not WiiWare,
You
not
fools.
DSiWare. They're picking up from their first stream like 2 months ago. I finally got them both available at the same time.
You fools. You absolute fools.
It is shockingly tricky to get both of them together when they are not already committed to streaming on the NWR Twitch channel. But
Whoa.
got to do it. All right. Thanks everyone.
Bye.
Bye.